My reason for asking that this case be heard immediately is that the lawsuit is not only of particular interest to the investors of Selected Investments Corporation, but that it is of a wide public nature and that it has become a political issue brought about by slanderous statements and libelous printed matter being distributed and put forth by one Jack R. Scaggs, my opponent. At the present time, I'm a member of the House of Representatives, and I have been for 10 years. And I have enjoyed a good reputation here in Oklahoma City. And I ask that I be given a chance to clear my name. I no more owe Selected Investments Corporation as an individual, as alleged in the complaint, than does President Eisenhower. By vicious gossip, innuendos, and malicious political propaganda, the name of my family and myself is being drugged through the mire of the Selected Investments case. I have asked the Honorable Court to consider this petition as soon as possible, at the earliest possible date. And I have asked for permission to subpoena Mr. Jack R. Scaggs as my witness so that he might be able to enlighten the people of Oklahoma. And perhaps he knows something that the Honorable Trustee or the attorneys for Selected Investments are not aware of. In other words, I'm asking for permission to have Mr. Scaggs come into court and either put up or shut up. And if Mr. Scaggs is not able to prove his accusations and statements that I have alleged in my petition are libelous, then it is my intention, when he is unable to prove, to file a civil action, a libel suit, against one Mr. Jack R. Scaggs.
The only material that I used in regard to Mr. Cunningham in this campaign was a piece like this that you see here, which is nothing more than a reprint of the articles that appeared in the Oklahoma City Times and the Daily Oklahoman. And if there's anything libelous in that, he would have to sue the paper and not me, because they're true copies of the articles that
but he would much prefer to go around is the young knight in a shining armor. Of how many he has indicted and sent to the pen. Now the truth about that will come out in the next few days. And then I don't think the shining armor will shine quite so brightly. Now, had any of us known that he would have slipped into the runoff, we would have told the truth, I'm sure. The truth is that huge sums of money went into his campaign. From the interest of one J. Paul Getty, the richest man in the world. And you're going to hear a lot more about that. But I'll assure you that we're going to continue to keep our campaign on a high plane. We're not going to get into mudslinging. We do not intend to deal in personalities and the like of mudslinging. But I'm telling you right now, you can expect the truth and the facts.
Because I think that he has evidenced in the difference between his campaign in the primary and his campaign in the runoff, this fact clearly, that he will modify and change his position to suit the temperature of the time, to get votes at any cost. He refused unequivocally in the primary to state that he would call a special election on repeal. Now in the runoff, he says he will call it. Number two, he built Midwest City with 100% non-union labor, that is, all of the houses out there. Now he states that in the runoff that he is against the right-to-work law. Number three, in southern Oklahoma, he professes to be against reapportionment of the legislature, and yet he comes to Tulsa and states, and was quoted in the Tulsa World as saying that he favors reapportionment of the legislature. Now I think that's a clear-cut, documented example of his talking out of both sides of his mouth, which simply means this. The $64 question is what does he really mean? What will he do if he is elected? Having stated two positions during the race. The $64 question is, what have his secret commitments been?
Mr. Pittman, you've issued a new forecast for the 1958 Oklahoma wheat crop. What is that forecast?
It's 113 million bushels plus, a new record crop.
How does that compare with the estimate for last month?
Well, we're up about 22 million bushels from last month. It's a terrific increase.
And this is the all-time record estimate
Production.
for Oklahoma.
Both yield and production, it's the highest.
How does the yield per acre compare this year with other years?
Well, we're estimating a 26 bushel average for the state on this crop. Last year we had 12.5 bushels per acre. The previous record was 18.5 bushel. So we have exceeded the previous record by 7.5 bushels the acre.
What brought about this tremendous yield per acre?
Well, we have had an ideal season clear through till, I would say, June the 17th when we had some rains on the late harvest, but they had ideal weather clear through up till that time, and the harvest was pretty well along at the time we had the rains.
Everything broke just right.
Everything was favorable.
Is there any one part of the state that profited far greater than any other in this year's wheat crop?
Well, the Panhandle area is up substantially more than the other areas from a year ago. It has about 20 million bushel, what we estimate the production out there will be. That's 5 counties, including Ellis and Harper counties.
All this wheat will go into the elevators, and some of it will be eaten here, some of it will be exported. How much will this year's national wheat crop add to our surpluses?
Well, it would be better than 1 billion bushel carried out at the end of the crop season, this marketing season this next year.
How are the other crops in the state shaping up?
We had exceptionally favorable yields on oats, barley, rye, as well as on wheat. Rye yields are record. Oats is the highest we have had since 1910, and the rye yield is the highest since 1899. The corn forecast yield, 25 bushel an acre, is the highest that we have. It's the highest that we have had since 1920.
Now then, at the present price, going price for wheat, about how many dollars is this record crop going to put into circulation immediately?
Well, it'd be about $180 million if we would consider it about $1.60 a bushel, which is about the going rate or loan rate.
We're gathering together data for our annual report, and one of the interesting things I think that is shown is the marked decrease in the number of patients, in spite of the fact that we've had an increase in our admission rate this year, higher than ever in history. Our discharge rate has also been higher than it ever has in history. We've continuously got out more patients than we've gotten in for the last 5 years, but this year we've really gotten out a great number. Another interesting thing, the fact that the admission rate has gone up, the fact that the discharge rate has also increased, but also the real interesting thing is the fact that we've shortened the duration of stay in the hospital. Back in 1952 and around there, the average stay once you came in the hospital was 8 years. Now 75% of our patients go home in 6 months. And if we feel if we had a few more doctors and nurses, we'll even get them out faster than that.
What is making it possible to do this, besides the number?
We feel the overall change toward complete change to treatment of our patients, to the fact that we treat them like mentally ill people are sick just like anybody else, and to get them well, you've got to treat them, and we've set up these treatment programs. We're training doctors to be psychiatrists and help with this program. The drugs have had some effect, the so-called tranquilizing drugs, but not as much as just good all-around treatment.
More people are coming in. Are people more prone toward mental illness than before?
No, I don't think that's true. More and more are coming in, but I think this is because of the fact that people are beginning to recognize if you are mentally ill and you can get treatment early and get good treatment, that your chance of recovery